Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiffany. Stop caring about what other people think about you. Now, it took me about up until the age of about 27 to realize that I had people-pleasing tendencies. Simply because I was brought up to be very nice and polite. I took that too far to the extent that it was quite normal for me to reject myself for the sake of gaining other people's approval or their love or their acceptance of me. Now, when you live in that state, it's like you are constantly a puppet on a string and you are dancing to the tunes of other people. And over time, you actually lose the ability to create your own music. And it's a very sad place to be because no amount of public approval or acceptance or love will make up for our level of self-rejection or self-contempt. You simply have to learn to like yourself as well. So people pleasing, it's something that it does evolve over time. I think you get to you learn to chip away at it as you get to know yourself more and you learn more about the world that you live in. But I wanted to share two important sort of realizations that have been pivotal in my letting go of other people's opinions of me. Number one is to learn to value who you are and who you are becoming. Now, I'm an advocate for solitude. I think it's such an important process of to reset a lot of the toxicity of social settings, because we sometimes are afraid to be on our own because it seems quite daunting, or you think my thoughts might come to the surface, or we're afraid of being bored or the silence. But because we're so attached to other people's opinions, it does get to the stage where we sort of drown out our own inner voice. But by seeing solitude in new and different lenses, seeing it as an opportunity for exploration, for internal exploration, I think you start to realize that it's actually an opportunity to get to know yourself, to work on yourself, to reset your thoughts about who you are and who you're becoming. For me, it's an opportunity to spend time with God, to listen to what He has to say about my life and who I am, rather than what other people think. And as you do that, you become more confident, you become more self-reliant, you develop opinions of life, you discover your values are, what your principles are. And in the process, you have the luxury then to be more selective about whose opinions you rely on, because, for example, you discover that someone doesn't actually like you. You can take that with a bit of salt and move on, because their opinions does not carry as much weight as it used to, because now you like yourself. So, it's okay if they don't like you. You can actually sleep at night. Number two tip is to be cautious about being low maintenance. Now, I came across this low maintenance persona. I think it's a phenomenon that it's much more predominant with women, because sometimes we've been wired to believe that we need to make it easier for other people to like us and accept us. So for example, you don't want to come across as being bossy or too extra or too much of an inconvenience. So you try to just be a nice person, like a nice girl syndrome, which I think can actually can be quite toxic. So you have to be quite careful. So for example, let's say someone takes you out for lunch or someone takes you out for dinner, and they say, what would you like to have? But in that moment, you actually wave up the option of choosing, and you instead act as if you're okay with whatever they want you to have. Now it can seem quite harmless. I mean, it's just lunch or it's your dinner option, you might say. But actually, in making it normal to kind of repress your own wants and your desires, you're actually feeding the people-pleasing monster in your life. So you have to be very careful to not to metaphorically back yourself in a corner. If someone gives you the option to choose something, because that's how you sort of validate your own voice and learn to recognize your own voice. But yeah, I think that's quite an important way to also chip away at people-pleasing. Now, like I said, people pleasing, it's something that when you realize it in yourself, you can start to work on it, and it does take a while. But once you start that process, it's very possible to then sort of turn up your own inner voice and your own kind of inner convictions to be much louder than what other people are saying. And that's what I wanted to share. Now, always remember that those who matter won't mind, and those who mind don't matter. And of course, life always rewards those who live intentionally. Thanks again for joining me, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.